Well, guys, man, the WNBA is in full effect, and we are dealing with the same shenanigans we dealt with last year at the start of the season when it comes to Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Indiana Fever played the Chicago Sky today, and Caitlin Clark flagrant fouled Angel Reese. And now the aftermath is diabolical, and you won't believe what RG3 had to say. But we're going to unpack all that here next, here on the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Well, guys, man, when is enough, man? When are we going to stop putting gasoline on a fire that is already lit and we trying to put the fire out, man? Well, we all watched the Indiana Fever take down the Chicago Sky today on a 35-point blowout. The Indiana Fever ended the Chicago Sky. Now, in that game, we had some fireworks and we had some theatrics. And in the third quarter of that game, Caitlin Clark gave Angel Reese a hard foul, and Angel Reese was knocked to the ground. And Angel Reese got up and responded to Caitlin Clark, which Aaliyah Boston had to hold Angel Reese back. And Caitlin Clark proceeded to walk toward her bench because she didn't want the smoke. She didn't want to feel the wrath. And at that moment, I think the Baltimore came out of Angel Reese. Now, when you get fouled that way in a game and the temperatures and the emotions are running high and you get fouled by any player, your reaction and your response is just what your response is. We've seen anybody that has gotten a hard foul placed on them, their reaction is once they get knocked to the floor, they're going to jump up and they're going to try to get into the opposing player's face that, created the hard foul. So we saw what took place today between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark in that hard foul. Now, I already did a video talking about the hard foul of Caitlin Clark where she almost committed assault on Angel Reese. So if you haven't seen that video, go watch that video and you'll understand what I'm talking about, the foul. And I wanted people to keep that same energy that they had last year when Kennedy Carter fouled the likes of Caitlin Clark, and everybody thought that Kennedy Carter committed assault on Angel Reese. And a lot of people say that is the reason why Kennedy Carter is no longer in the WNBA, because of the hip check of what she did to Caitlin Clark. Now, we already know that there is already this disdain notion that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese dislike each other, which is not the case. They respect each other as a basketball player. They respect each other as a human being. And they have also showed that they have no problem with one another. But when you get in the game and you get between the lines in the battlefield, the emotions run high. You've seen the likes of Draymond Green, what he did to LeBron James, but they have no problem with each other off the basketball court. It's just that the physicality and emotions run high when you're in heat of the battle. And this is what happened today. Caitlin Clark fouled Angel Reese. Angel Reese did not like the foul that was placed on her, so she reacted. Now we have all kinds of backlash. Now, we all know who RG3 is. RG3 is a Heisman Trophy winner out of Baylor University. He was the Washington Redskins pick. You know what he did his rookie year, Offensive Rookie of the Year. And RG3, was a quarterback for the Washington Redskins. Now, we've also seen RG3 in the media. We've also seen RG3 given a lot of takes where he has been kicked off of networks for some of his takes that he says and some of the words that he uses on national television. Now, I've never had a problem with RG3. RG3 was recently fired from ESPN. He got mad at Stephen A. Smith for not backing him, and him and Stephen A. Smith went back and forth. But RG3 tonight after the game went to Twitter X, and he said some egregious things about the foul that Caitlin Clark did on Angel Reese, and RG3 tried to spin the whole thing and keep this narrative going. And what RG3 did was very diabolical. And I am disappointed in what RG3 did. But if you look at who RG3 is married to, you'll understand. So when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. But before we get off into what RG3 did on Twitter X, right now I'm at 17,288 subscribers. At least get me to 17,300 by the end of the night. And if you're new to this channel, if you ever coming across this platform, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. And with the love and support that I have in this community, I know I can reach 17,300. Well, let's get off into what RG3 had to say. RG3 took to his Twitter and said, after watching Caitlin Clark's flagrant foul on Angel Reese and the aftermath, there is no way Angel Reese can continue the lie that she doesn't dislike Caitlin Clark. I know what hatred looks like. Angel Reese hates, with capital letters, Caitlin Clark. Not some basketball rivalry hate either. Pure hate. He has over 1.3 million engagements on this, and it's probably climbing because right now RG3 is trending all over social media for his egregious remarks about Angel Reese. And then one of the people in the comments that is verified continued to blast RG3, and this is what they had to say. Stop Cop City said, not merely a bad take given who you are, is journalistic malpractice, even if just a tweet. If you missed last year, you know there is a sizable racist, delusional Caitlin Clark mob that has produced endless hate and death threats to Angel, and you are pouring gasoline on all that, feeding a monster. Right there, I'm glad that somebody stepped up and sided to try to put this fire out and sided with Angel Reese, because what RG3 did is very egregious, and that has to stop. I am disappointed in what RG3 had to say on Twitter, making it like Angel Reese committed a hate crime because she responded in a way that all athletes respond when you get a hard foul placed on you. So it's about time that some of these people are start calling out some of these media personnel. RG3 has his own podcast, him and his wife, and RG3 tweeted this out, and this is very diabolical. See, this is the stuff that has to stop. We can't even enjoy basketball because RG3 is trying to get attention, and he tried to spin the narrative and put it all on Angel Reese because of the way Angel Reese got off the floor and responded to the hard foul. This is the kind of stuff that we're going to have to deal with each year. But did you keep that same energy when Kennedy Carter fouled Caitlin Clark and Caitlin Clark responded? Did you go on to say that Caitlin Clark hates Kennedy Carter? But just because it's Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark's names attached to each other, you're going to try to spin it and keep this narrative going and keep on pouring gasoline on a fire that's already lit to add on to what that guy responded to you in that tweet about the Caitlin Clark mob, and you just a part of it. And that just goes to show that you are part of that mob that has created that narrative because of what you just tweeted. This is asinine. This is diabolical. And there's no place for tweets like that. RG3, you are trying to get attention, but people are trying to cancel you at this very moment because of this egregious thing that you tweeted. Just like the guy said, malpractice, journalistic malpractice, even though it was a tweet. We got to stop this. I see everybody in the comment section, #salute. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. And just in case I forgot, tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.